All right.
Uh-oh. Hey, welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is going on, Chip? What's going on, everybody out there who hopefully didn't suffer too much at the proper party last night? You guys are awake and alert, didn't drink too
Proper
much, and you
party.
guys had so much fun partying. We're going to go over, Chip, I got a whole bunch of links to people's Twitter posts to highlight and show off the proper party last night for all those who weren't able to be there. I wasn't there. Chip wasn't there.
I was. I actually was, Jeff.
That's right. You were actually there.
I was actually there. Yeah.
So Chip had a blast and has there lots of pictures, a lot of great people that Chip was able to meet with in the community, which is just really outstanding. Wish I was there with you last night. But Chip, we're gonna kick this thing off. I
But
want to
hang on
go
a
through.
second,
We have a
Jeff.
lot of stuff to
Before we
do.
kick this off, we got to talk about
Okay.
something really important.
Okay.
Everybody in the chat wish Jeff a happy birthday. Happy
Oh,
birthday, Jeff! It's your birthday,
well,
man. And
thank
we
you very
sent him
much,
we sent him a proper birthday wish from the proper pre-party,
dude.
which
That was
Rob
awesome.
McDermott put together, and we put together. I'm like, we're gonna send Jeff, and the whole place erupted in the happy birthday, Jeff. So we'll
That
unpack some of
was
that stuff tomorrow. Did that catch
yeah.
you by surprise?
No, that was awesome. I was in the car. I don't. Did you get the response? I
Yeah,
sent a
yeah, it was
video.
great, man. I played it for a few people. They're like, "What did Jeff say? What did Jeff say?" I'm like, "Yeah, he sent this video."
That was
So
really cool. I was in the car. I was picking up my son from his friend's house yesterday, and I get this awesome video, and that made the day. Had the entire family over at the house last night, and I was showing everyone the pic. I was like, "Look at this! Look at how amazing this is! Look at this great birthday wish! One of the best birthday wishes ever.
and
From a
and
great
everybody
group."
was like, nobody could come up and say hello to me without, "Where's Jeff? Where's Jeff? Is Jeff here? Is Jeff where is he?" So it was like, and they're like, "Oh, he couldn't make it." I'm like, "Well, it's kind of his birthday, and his family was in town for his birthday, and you kind of have to be there for those things, you know."
Right?
So, but they were like, "I can't believe Jeff didn't come." I'm like, he wanted to, so.
Man, I was so close. I was so close. Thursday Thursday evening, I was telling my wife, I was like, look what's going on. Everyone's gonna be there. I wish I was there, but we got all these events going on. It's like I got celebrations yesterday, today, tomorrow. It's like all
Birthday
the families
weekend,
and stuff. It's
which turns
birthday
into birthday
weekend. It's gonna
week,
be crazy.
which turns into
And,
birthday month,
that's right.
which turns
That's
into
right.
birthday quarter.
The
Birthday
birthday
quarter.
year. But I was so close to getting a ticket Thursday night. I was gonna be like, screw it, I'm gonna go anyways.
Yeah, right. It was
But
a fun.
But we had a blast yesterday. I cooked for for a couple
Did some
hours
barbecue,
and just
barbecuing.
barbecue, just rolled everything out. Everyone showed up and they're like, "Hey, invite us to your birthday and you do all the cooking."
Don't you love that when you get to work on your birthday? It's like, hey, come
The
on, keep
great
it, keep it coming, man. You bring in like one little tray, and you got to bring in the next tray. Make sure everyone's happy. You never can relax when you're having
but
like
but you
your
know what? I
mother's
set it
birthday.
up right though. I set it up because a lot of times I'll wait for people to show up before I start barbecuing. But I discovered the coolest setting on the oven, and it says "keep warm," and it just keeps
Nice.
shit warm. And so you hit that button, and you grill, and you put it in a covered Pyrex bowl, and you put that in the oven with foil on it. You leave it there for like an hour, hour and a half, and you take it out, and it's
It's like
steaming hot and juicy.
nice.
It doesn't cook it any further. It just keeps it at the point where you removed it. Even though chicken normally keeps cooking a little bit once you take it off the grill, but it was perfect. So everyone showed up and I had like some last remnants. My uncle shows up and he goes, "You started cooking so early?" I was like, "I've been cooking already." And everyone's like, "When are other family came. They're like, "When are we going to start cooking?" I open the oven. It's like stacked, like all the different food. I was like, "We're going to eat whenever we want to eat." It was great. It was perfect.
Nice. By the way, this is the longest show opening ever. We've just done the longest show opening ever. We just exceeded our last record. We've broken it. We did half the show, and then we'll like roll the intro. Right? It's
You
like,
have to show. Let's wait till about 8:50ish, and
yeah,
then
maybe about that. Why not?
and then we're gonna roll the intro. Here we go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Welcome
To On
to
the Chain. So I'm going to break
On
down a little
the
bit
Chain.
of the proper party. And really what was great was Rob McDermott put together like a little pre-party. Had it in this, it was kind of, it was the goal was to have it at this kind of like a Mexican restaurant. It had a terrace on top, and that was to keep an eye on the line, the queue. Well, what we didn't realize about the queue is that the queue we saw in front wasn't the real queue. There was like a break because there's some driveway or something there, and there was another queue that wrapped around 7 blocks or something like that. It was insane. The amount of people that showed up for that was crazy. So what was fun about,
Yeah.
we had the, what we were calling the pre-party, and it was so great to hang out with Rob McDermott and just like and Matt Hamilton stopped by, and Jimmy Filan was there, and Jeremy Hogan, and just a lot of community members were there, and people that I had a chance to meet and talk to. And Rob Cash was on the set.
That's awesome.
So Rob Cash was there with his buddy Anthony, and it was good. And I think the best thing, my big takeaway from it was, and I think I saw Matt Hamilton tweeted about this too. He said, didn't matter. He said, people came from all over. People came in from Australia. They came in from Canada. They came in from South America. They came in from all parts of the world, Europe.
Yeah.
Just to come to New York to celebrate. And I think the big takeaway was, it didn't matter who you were. It didn't matter your social economic situation. It didn't matter, anything. There was so much diversity there, young, old, I mean, just everything. And what I realized was we just had one thing. XRP is not a security, Jeff. That was the whole thing. It was like, and that was the big celebration. And I did get you a shirt, by the way, that says XRP is not a security. So they did have the merch out there. Yeah, so that was the line right there. And I wonder if you're going to see me in there somewhere. But yeah,
this is brought to us by Jenna X.
Yeah, Jenna said she was going to sell her bags if she didn't get into the shorter bags and sell them all.
Yeah.
But and the other thing too was it was raining most of the day, so it was kind of like a drizzle. It was kind of a weird sort of a drizzle.
Yeah.
And
crazy stuff.
Who else did I see? I also saw I saw Ray from Link 2. Had a great conversation, but I tell you, the conversations that we had at the pre-party were just epic. And the folks that showed up, it's like, because it was a little bit, you could actually have a conversation. But once we got to the proper party, it was kind of loud in there. DJ was playing, spinning, and it was like a lot of people, and they had some, they had food, they had drinks and stuff like that. But it was, I think I had a couple great conversations. I got to meet Brad Kimes. Brad Kimes was cool. He was jovial, and I got to meet the Bearable Bull. But the Bearable Bull, you might not recognize him, because I had said to him, hey, am I going to see you at this? He's like, yeah, you'll see me. I'm like, well, how will I notice you? He goes, I'll be wearing a dress. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, okay. So he was goofing around about that, but did get a picture with the Bearable Bull somewhere. I don't even know. I'm trying to look for it. Somebody had taken one of those dolls, Jeff, that, those blow up dolls, and put Gary's face on it. It was parading around the floor. That was pretty fun. And the entertainment was Lenny Kravitz. And I was like right up in the front for Lenny Kravitz.
Nice.
And I'd seen him before. I caught him at in South Beach once at a benefit show, and I got to meet him there too. He's a good guy, but he came out. The band was just insane. He had these horn players, and they did extended versions of the songs, and it was pretty good. Oh yeah, there's a picture with there's Tony from Thinking Crypto, right there, and Tony was good. But here's the best part, Jeff. So
yep,
I saw Brad Garlinghouse, and he was mobbed, dude. It was like a rock star coming. Lenny Kravitz was over in the corner, is like, hey, I'm Lenny Kravitz. And Brad Garlinghouse was like getting mobbed over here. It was like everyone's like on top, Brad, picture. And he's like, I was like, I was like exhausted watching him, right? So I walked over there, and then he kind of like jetted up one of the stairs to head like towards backstage. And I did run into I'm trying to think who else I ran into. Yeah, just a lot of random people. It was really humbling, because people came up to me like, Chip, can I get a picture? And I'm like, yeah, it was insane. A lot of people, you can't really go there semi-anonymous, So that was a weird. Also, Mark Phillips hung with Mark Phillips, and Mark Phillips was at the proper party too.
I've got lots of pictures of everybody, man. A lot of people posted their Twitter.
Yeah, I didn't post anything to Twitter because I'm lame.
There
but
you go.
I probably will at some point.
Yep.
That was a good picture. I had a great conversation with
that's awesome.
With Johnny D. He was awesome. And his daughter, she was fantastic. And I said, what do you think about your dad? He's kind of a rock star. She's like, yeah, I'm really proud of him, It was really great. And she was super sweet. John was mobbed. I mean, it was like so it was weird. We just got there and I was like, I'm gonna go find the restroom. I told Rob, I'm gonna find the restroom. And I like walk and I see the back of the head. I'm like, put the hand on the shoulder and it was John. I'm like, hey John, what's up? He gives me a big hug and I was like, holy cow, meeting in person finally. We had you on the show so many times. And it was before really the crowd, like a lot of people came in, so we got to have a nice little conversation. So yeah, it was great.
That's awesome.
I mean, ultimately, it comes down to the people. The people are what make it. And what was really amazing was that Brad Garlinghouse got up on stage. I have the whole speech. Maybe we'll play it tomorrow night. But one of the things that he did that I thought was fantastic, he did an amazing shout out to the community and said, you know, hanging in there, and you guys like. So that was cool. Everybody went crazy when he said that. And John was sitting at Dundee and was like, there's like, if you know the this venue, there's like 3 balconies, and he was in the first one, and he did a shout out to John Deaton. It was really cool. So
that's really nice.
That was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, good. Man, it's so cool. It's really cool that you were able to be there. But it just, I think more so, and Chip, you and I were talking about this right before we got started. The fact that you're able to meet so many people that we've interacted with on the show, whether as a guest on the show or all the amazing supporters that we have that were at that were there.
You know what that is?
That XRP
Bearable Bull.
That Bearable.
He was Bearable Bull, and I'm like, dude, come on, take that off. He's like, I can't take it off. This is amazing. So the Bearable Bull, and I knew I'd meet him. Also T Boone, who makes all the cool stuff.
Makes some really cool stuff.
So he's doing that full time. He's gonna. I said, look, we got to do some on the chain merch.
We'd love that. Yeah, that would be amazing.
You got to do some on the chain stuff. And then I ran into the myth, the man, the legend.
There he is,
Schwartz. So I say to David, I'm like, David, Chip, what's up from On the Chain? He goes, hey, Chip. And I'm like, hey, come on, are you? I go, you're gonna come on the podcast? I mean, when are you gonna come on our podcast, man? He goes, he's like, come on our podcast. I mean, we'll have some fun. Come on, it'll be great, you know. And then that's all you have to do to lose David forever is invite him on the podcast. And he almost like ran away. It was like he goes.
I was gonna say, did he disappear like he does on Twitter?
Listen, he did, but he goes, I gotta ask Brad, and he bolted. I was like, you gotta ask Brad. What does Brad give a shit? Brad doesn't know about our podcast. You don't even, you barely know about our podcast. The only reason you know is because we've invited you. You know. So
that's the best.
And so after Rob and a couple of the guys, we went over and had a right next door. There's a diner, and you know, had some steak and eggs, and that was it. It was a good night. That was it.
It ended
enjoyable.
Late. You guys drank?
Yeah, it ended around 11. It ended around 11, and
okay.
Everyone's going like, "What are you drinking?" I'm like, "I'm drinking water." I'm like, "What are you drinking?" I'm drinking iced tea. I was like, you know, I want to have like 1 or 2 drinks, but be able to be functional with people, and I'm not going there to.
Otherwise, you get obliterated.
Well, the problem was that
parties, regular party.
The pre-party, everybody was drinking. They're like, "Man, these drinks are strong." I'm like, "No, here's my iced tea. You know, my unsweetened iced tea." So that was about it. But
yeah.
But it was great. Awesome. It was good, especially seeing people that we've interacted with for so many years, and just seeing them all in one place. You know, was really, really fantastic. I didn't see Chris Larson. I don't know if he was like lurking or hiding out somewhere.
Yeah,
he wasn't there. You know, Brad got on stage, and you know, saw David Schwartz. I did see Bias Goose. I ran into him in line. I'm like, "Hey, Bias Goose." He's like, "Hey, Chip, what's up?" You know, so he was. I mean, I know his real name, but I'm like, I'm not going to dox him. So I go, "Hey, I call him Bias Goose," but a really great time, and especially hanging out with Jeremy and his wife. Wow, what a sweetheart! You know, what a great couple, power couple, amazing couple. Everybody, Rob comes up and he goes, "Hey," he goes, "Hey guys, what's up?" And he gives Jeremy's wife a hug. He goes, "Sorry, Jeremy, but this is the real reason behind you and all that." And so she was a rock star. Everybody wanted pictures. I almost think people were taking more photos with her. You know, I mean, so then you, I don't know if I can pronounce her name properly, but yeah, it was really good.
That's awesome.
Exciting. So ultimately, exciting. You know, I know a lot of people couldn't go, but I think the sentiment there was that you were there in spirit because you were, you know, if you've been part of this community or any community. It was kind of a last minute decision that I came up, and a lot of it had to do really with Rob, you know, and hanging out with him and really spending some quality time with some OTC family. And now I know
Cool.
Alan, Very Hydroponics Alan is here somewhere, but I never ran into him.
Seriously? So
I never saw him there.
That's crazy. So here, check this out. Here,
You did a video with Brad, right?
yeah, so I got that video. Let me see if I can post it without everything shutting down here. Let's see.
Yeah, we don't
look
want
at that.
shutting down.
It says now add to stage. Before it just said add. Now the thing says add to stage. They're making some changes. That's interesting. Now it's on stage. Look at that. I probably won't be able to play it because I'm not sharing audio. Let me restop. Let me re-add.
Yeah.
They haven't changed that.
There's a lot of things that still need a little bit of work there. Jeff.
Also share. Now it's no longer a checkbox. Now it's a switch that you have to click. And you might miss it altogether because it's like text, switch.
Just have every browser have the audio. Why is this so difficult? It must be a limitation of the browser. I don't know.
I'm sure. There we go. People don't want to play audio by mistake. So here we go. Check it. See, we get some volume. There we go.
Hey, look, we were all chosen to be here. That's why I'm standing with Brad Garlinghouse right here. Absolutely. This moment, glad to have this guy time in history, because we are a part of a small fraction of the universe that is a part of this community and stuck with this community for many years. I've been in for 3 years. Thank you, Brad, for your dedication and you're a part of this system. Thank you for your support. And I'm glad to be here as a part of the family. Thank you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Hey.
Sign that kid up, man.
A lot of great stuff.
Where's his YouTube channel? That was pro right there. That was pro. I mean, you got to go, and you got Brad right there, and that was really succinct and nice. It was well done. I was looking for him. I didn't run into him. The problem was there's a lot of people there.
Yeah, you get thousands of people, and
and random people are coming up to me like, "Chip, can I get a picture?" I'm like, "Of course, you know. I mean, of course, you get a picture, man. I mean, have fun."
Did you see this? David Schwartz took my wife to White Castle before the proper party. She deserves it. What the?
Well, there you go.
David. He's great. So
David, I was funny as ever, on point. You know.
So here we've got Rob Cash and David Schwartz. Really cool. We've got
that's like a cutout right there,
right? Doesn't it?
No, it's not.
Where'd it go? Nope, I lost it. All right. Oh, there he is.
Yep. There it is. Yeah.
Not a cutout.
Yeah, it was a good picture of Rob Cash and Tony from Thinking Crypto. Tony was cool. It was like really, I just kind of randomly just like ran into him. He's like, "Hey, Chip," it's really cool. Nice. You know, unfortunately, like I said, there was a lot of people. You didn't get a lot of like big conversations, but fun to see everybody.
Yep. There's Brad Garlinghouse. Looking forward to seeing many of you tonight at the proper party. Excited to bring people together to celebrate what we've collectively achieved. A reminder to the SEC that court decisions matter and that progress is worth fighting for. How cool is that?
It's awesome. Yeah, it's really great. Is that him and Schwartz? Yeah.
Right there. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a really he had on I don't know, XRP shirt or something like that. Yeah. Now, what was cool was Rob McDermott's buddy, they came with him. They've been longtime friends, like lifelong friends. Mm-hmm. And he was rocking I can't be 100% sure, but an XRP, but I think it's magic. He had on one of our shirts. Yeah, Tommy was great. Tommy was like taking photos, and it was everywhere last night. And yeah, Tommy had awesome. He had on the hashtag Fire Gary Gensler shirt. So Rob Cash was on the set. It was really great. Rob says he's going to come back. I'm like, Rob, you got to start streaming again. If you guys don't know Rob Cash, YouTuber, just great point of view, and just was really raw and real. And that's what we kind of missed from it. And he showed up at the pre-party as well. And it was like really cool to see him. Cool. So yeah,
we were out.
The blockchain backer.
Blockchain backer. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was cool. Like I was hanging out in the blockchain backer was there yesterday as well. And I'm like, well, at least you have your voice this time. This is good. Last time we lost your voice, and you know, it was so it was very, very cool. But any comments on it? I can't read the comments because I don't know if there's anybody that.
Nice to meet you in passing. I meant it when I said you got my family into our first home. Stay up, bro. We can't thank you enough. All sorts of just great commentary.
Did you lose me,
overall
Jeff? Because am I stuck? Oh, there we go.
No, you're there. I don't know what it is, but it's the whole system is like tying up my computer.
Yeah, because it's like what happened, man?
Video,
No, the
audio.
video was like behind or something. I don't know what the deal is, but
Yeah, every
probably
time I
another.
pull, something's draining all sorts of resources here. I can't figure out what it is exactly. I'm just shutting down. I think it's Twitter actually, because Twitter is just draining all sorts of resources on the
Because you
computer.
have the tabs open, right? So yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Have all sorts of tabs open, and normally I do though, so I don't get it. Am my video still frozen?
It's still frozen. All I see is like I don't know, like a half of a weird frame.
weird.
It looks very strange.
Yeah, it's
I
very
don't know if
crazy.
you guys see that too, but it's really.
There we go. I'm coming back
kind of
into picture. What? I'm like dissected here. I don't know what's going
Yeah, I
on.
also saw Ray Fuentes from Link2s. That was kind of cool. Ran into him, had a nice conversation. And I had a nice conversation with DAI as well. Now your head is off your body, Jeff. This is freaking.
Shutting
What
down
is
all
going?
the tabs and hoping that.
Oh, I wanted to get a shot of that. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. What the heck? What kind of stuff? Every time they change something, it turns into a mess.
That's
Jeff.
right.
It really is a mess, right?
My computer was working overtime too. It was crazy. I could hear everything going.
That's what it looks like.
I can see myself.
I know, but I was like, your head is off your body. I was like, what the hell is going on? Holy cats, man! What in the?
I can still control everything, but
your head. I'm gonna see if that's a puppet and I can control it. Hello.
hello.
We'll have to get Oscar to animate that thing when your mouth moves. I'm just a head bouncing around, you know. Yeah, maybe you have to close out the Twitter tabs, but I don't know. For some reason, you're right. What's weird is like people are like, "How come Chip's okay for once?" Because I'm not I'm not logged in. I'm in it as a guest, so I don't have any of the access to this stuff that's gonna drain my computer. So
man, I'm gonna set up a second computer, and second computer will only be for like sharing stuff. Bring the second computer in as a guest.
Might have to. Yeah,
this is crazy. I can't believe the resources. My computer was like working like 3 times. It got really loud.
Well, turn your audio. I mean, turn your camera off and try to. There you go.
I'm trying to come back now.
It's weird. It's like it was like and like fast forwarding through it. It's very strange.
But now I'm just frozen.
Yeah, and you don't look happy, Jeff. You're like you look perplexed. You're like,
So Dre met you in line.
Yeah, that's awesome. I met some awesome people too, and it was like, I mean, everyone's like, "Can I take a picture?" I'm like, "Of course you can get a picture." You know, hey, you know, I was super excited to meet everybody. It was awesome. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, it's not the computer. It's the. You got to remember, we're streaming to 5 or 6 different locations simultaneously, and then on top of doing all the audio and all the other stuff, and so it does kind of tax our computer. It's doing weird stuff for your screen. Now you got your microphone with half.
It's all wavy. Woo!
It's like, what is going? What is going on? It was
what's going on today?
I was super excited to meet so many awesome, cool people, and it was just like everybody was just in like a celebratory mode and just like really great. The community was awesome. So many awesome people. So it was.
I'm gonna pull myself out for a minute.
But
see if I can
you get back in? I don't know. Can I stay?
Yeah, I'm the one controlling it.
But can I stay in as a guest if you do that?
No, probably not. Well, I'm not gonna leave. I'm just gonna pull myself out of the video.
Gotcha. Okay, there you go. All right.
Let me see. Otherwise, this is definitely like. Do you remember that first version of the video conferencing from Microsoft? No, from Microsoft. Like when you first way back in the day, and you would share video, and it was like this. It was like,
well, it's like Teams, right? This is how Teams works currently. So
that's right. Yeah, Teams.
Every time I'm on a Teams call, it's like it's delays, it gets stuck. It's a mess. So here I am. I can't control anything, but and boom, full screens. I don't know if Jeff actually bailed out of the thing entirely, but yeah, what an interesting evening. And for me, I'm freezing up here in New York. It was like 58 degrees last night, rainy, and I was like, I'm feeling a little bit cold, and yeah, I'm trying to think of I was trying to show another, but Lenny Kravitz was pretty amazing as well. I don't know if I showed you guys this picture, but Mr. I was there, so I got a picture with Mr. I. He had the shades on, of course, looking cool. I hope Jeff comes back. This is really this is awkward. There's a picture of John Deaton and Rob McDermott right there. Yeah, for the most part, it was a good time. And of course, it was funny. I was like, I felt a little out of place in this picture because I'm there with Mark Phillips and Matt Hamilton. I don't have a beard, man. I'm like, I was beardless. And it was like, apparently I know more about, there he goes.
Wow, that was weird.
Yeah, apparently I know more about Matt Hamilton. I'm like, Matt, you trimmed your beard. He goes, I just trimmed it today. I'm like, it's like, I see you in your pictures and your feed. I feel like I know you, right? And it's like, so that was a lot of fun. And Matt kept pinging me all day. He's like, I don't know, man. I'm supposed to meet a colleague, but what happened is it flooded, and it flooded like yesterday. So there was flooding everywhere, and the parts of the city were underwater. In subway, it was just like water was like blowing into the subways, and I didn't see a lot of it, honestly. Where part of town I'm in, there wasn't much of that going on. But I guess
no, I didn't see the flooding.
None, no flooding, couple puddles. But there were parts that just flooded. LaGuardia, which is where I'm supposed to fly out, I think it's closed. I think somebody had a video of them walking through like 6 or 7 inches of water in the airport. Like, how does the airport itself flood? So
that actually did happen here. If you remember, not too long ago in Fort Lauderdale, there was a huge torrential downpour, and the streets of Fort Lauderdale were underwater. This is New York. This was yesterday.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so I don't know what part of town that was.
I didn't put the audio, but look at that.
No, I don't know what part of town that was, but my gosh, that's like a river there. But where we were, it was fine. The proper party was good, and they changed the sign on the venue to the proper party. So instead of having the I forget what it's called, the Manhattan Center and the Hammerstein Ballroom, they had proper party. So it was all good and proper, and they were like good. They were just they scanned your QR code. They checked to see if your name matched the.
Did your name match?
Thankfully, it did, Jeff.
Look at that.
I was told if it didn't, I wasn't gonna be denied entry. It's like, I'm sorry, but a lot of people that go by, Mr. XRP and XRP Bob and all that stuff. So awesome, man. Yeah. Well, what's your handle? We'll throw those up there because that would be cool. But nice to meet you, Chad. Nice. Put our photos up on Twitter. We came from Boston. You jumped in line. Yeah, flooding was part of the whole. Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. I remember that. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yep. Man, Kyle Horak. Honestly, I've been in crypto since 2013. XRP just using us to fund their operations. That's really what the celebration's about.
Celebration wasn't about that at all. No, it was about people coming together, really. And I mean, Ripple hosted the party, but from what I saw, the conversations and the people, it was really about the people. Hey, blockchain.
Look at that guy, blockchain backer.
And by the way, let me say this: I met Mrs. Blockchain Backer. Lovely. Oh, nice. I mean, you could really see, just another power couple, just phenomenal and sweet, and it was really great to meet her. So it was really cool, and we were hanging out.
Yeah, Kyle here. These two guys seem like nice people. It just shows not everyone in the community is an idiot. I just feel like an idiot holding this coin.
Some of us
over
well, Kyle, I can agree. That sentiment I can agree with. I mean, especially since you're an old, an OG in the space. But look, I mean,
yeah,
it happens, right?
So here's what's funny. To Kyle's point. Now, yesterday you posted, I think it was yesterday, something funny here. And this is kind of like, if you think about the price of XRP and where we are, and I think, you found there's this one funny video and it kind of goes to like an Escher drawing, but here's like the price of XRP. It kind of goes up, right? And you're like, yeah, this is awesome. This is great. And then as soon as you get to the top, then all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait a minute. I'm right back where I started.
Well,
It's
yeah,
like
and
a
that's so this is a
never-ending loop, and that's why Chip
I think this
XRP is like the perfect stable coin. It's like a never-ending loop
then right, it
of
goes up and it comes
stability.
down, and
It
then
comes
watch, it goes
down.
back down the other side. Look at this. And then it's the
It's
craziest thing,
amazing.
right?
It's
I think that's
crazy.
is
Yeah.
that an
And
MIT? I forget where that's from. It might have been, but it's a real staircase. The guy walks
yeah.
up. It's the angle of the staircase. So he walks upstairs, and then as he turns the corner, you see him walking up the stairs. So
Yeah.
as he sends that girl over there, she's like, "No, walk upstairs and come and just keep walking." And then
But to Kyle's point, that's it. That
when she
that
gets there,
just
she gets back there. It's the
summarizes
weirdest thing.
everybody's feeling, Chip. Everyone feels like that. Perfect.
Pretty much hits it, man. Pretty much nails it. Yeah, there. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, at one point last night, I was thinking I was losing my voice a little bit hoarse today.
Yep.
So I was like starting to feel that nodule, like on my
Mm.
because you're yelling, and it was like
Oh yeah.
people can't hear you.
Yep.
Like what? You're like yelling into someone's ear. Was insane. Insane. What are some of the other
Good
comments
stuff.
saying in there?
Man, there was
Rob's not in there, huh? I gotta ping Rob. Where is he?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell him to jump
So
on.
here's another good one. So it started to make me think, right? A lot of different things seem to be adding up to the riddles. Think about the riddles from a couple years ago. Go back to 2017, 2018, and Chip, there all sorts of riddles, the Riddlers, Bearable Guy, all these different things. So now all of a sudden I'm starting to see posts because did all this stuff actually come to fruition last night? Is last night the impetus of what's coming starting October 1st? That's what I want to know. So Jungle pulled this one up. Massive flooding at the Ripple proper party. Once again, Bearable Guy predicted the future. There are no coincidences, right? So we have flooding in New York City, right? at the same moment of the Ripple party.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but we have this one. So here's Bull Run Wonk over here. The castle. Here's the proper party. And there's the background right there.
Oh, how about that? Yeah, I didn't connect that.
So are we actually seeing, so if we look at, here we go, there was a prediction, there's XRP on top, and think about this prediction. There's only, right, two assets that have any type of clarity, within the space. One is Bitcoin, and XRP standing strong and tall here on top of the castle at the proper party. There's the, Bearable Guy, and look at that arm right there tossing out Gary Gensler, who's the marionette.
And you know what? That they had that doll there, so I was like, there's a lot.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're carrying the doll around.
The Yetis were there proud last night. It was really cool. They were in tow, so it was all good, right?
So man, I'm really wondering, Chip.
Yeah, somebody had taken one of those blow up dolls. I hope it is, man. I hope it kicks off something.
We need something. We need something big. We need some big announcements. I'm starting to think that things are starting to line up, real nicely, just in general. I'm starting to feel some positivity. There's so much chaos going on, just normal, but I'm starting to see that there's some, great things getting ready to happen here. One of them, there's, if we go even step outside of, our crypto space, not the crypto space, but just outside the proper party. We've got our favorite congresswoman kind of being, held to account a little bit, right? So she's not really coming out, too shiny. Let's see, what else do we have here?
Yeah, she said Bitcoin again, and then here.
Yeah.
Bitcoin.
So think about that.
Still can't get it right.
Yeah, and then we've got the spot ETFs. Unfortunately, Gary Gensler is, holding back on those. But we've got some interesting commentary. I'm just, if we start stacking up, where we're moving, the direction that we're moving in. We saw this. We played this the other day with Richie Torres cross-examining Gary Gensler. Just a reminder, Gary Gensler struggled to answer basic questions like whether an investment contract requires a contract. Like the stupidity. These are the people in charge, but I love this one. Stuart Alderati, a must watch.
That was weird. I didn't see him.
Man, that would have been amazing if you ran into him, got some pictures with him.
Maybe he did. I haven't seen any photos either yet.
But
So
here we go. A must watch for hours. Mr. Gensler smugly evaded questions after question, even laughed about how rich he is until Rep Torres took him out with a command of the law and a touch of South Bronx street sense. Gensler didn't know what hit him until it was too late. This guy,
exactly.
man, I'm loving to see it. These people are backing themselves into a corner. What's that saying, Chip? When your enemy is destroying themselves, what do? You just let them destroy themselves.
Yeah,
And
it's like, of course, right?
here's another good
Yeah,
one.
let your enemy.
And this is interesting too, Chip. I mean, obviously the proper party, scheduled after these things, but here's a nice memorandum. Here's Jeremy Hogan. After
Oh,
watching the
it's good.
SEC oversight hearings yesterday, I compiled a detailed legal memorandum analyzing what we know about the security status of various digital assets. Lawyers, please feel free to share with your clients. And here he goes. Definitely not securities, Bitcoin, XRP, and Pokemon cards, actual cards, the physical card, and uncertain securities, the expanding universe, uncertain
Everything,
security
everything.
status, everything else. Pretty much, definitely not. Those are three things. So if you own a Pokemon card and you have them in a box someplace, guess what? Those are not securities. However, according to Gary Gensler, if you have a digitized version of that Pokemon card, it just might be a security. So be wary. And there he is. There's
There
the
we are, right
man
there,
right
Jimmy
there.
Filan and Jeremy Hogan, right there.
Nice. That's awesome.
It was really cool. It would have been cool to have Deaton in there, the three big attorneys there, but very cool.
Here's an interesting point here. Northeast Whitewater says, before the SEC approves Bitcoin ETF, we should be informed who Satoshi is and the creation story behind it.
Well, you remember how that story dropped where one of the government officials said, yeah, we met with the 3 or 4 people that are known as Satoshi. I'm like, were they just catfished here, or was it some kind of a elaborate scam, or were they able to trace who it is? And I think even if people know, they're not going to go ahead and dox them. The whole idea of Bitcoin, the fact that Bitcoin hasn't moved out of the Satoshi wallet. I mean, even when it hit $67,000, it still didn't move out of there. So one or two things. I mean, either, and also too, there's some other potential. There's always been a list of people that people have thought that was Satoshi. A lot of people think it's the government.
A lot of them.
Especially people have tied back certain papers were written back in the 90s. David Schwartz, also his background, but I don't think we ever find out. If we do, it's probably in the future, and I don't think it matters. You're like, oh, someone comes out and says, I'm Satoshi. So it's decentralized. You have nothing to do with it. And you have a wallet. maybe Kelly. That
Dude, could you imagine that?
Satoshi lost the keys. How funny would that be?
That would be
the wallet nothing moved out of that wallet because
nothing moved. Could you imagine that?
Wait, what's the password again?
Yeah. That would be a shit moment. I mean, could you imagine? Yeah. And that's it. You just have zero access.
Yeah, it's some funny stuff.
Oh my God, that would.
Did I talk about DAI at all? Did I mention him at all yet?
No, you haven't mentioned DAI yet. If you guys know, you guys should know who DAI is. DAI used to talk.
Digital asset investor, yeah.
Digital asset investor. He used to talk about Liechtenstein a lot. I haven't listened to him in a long time, but I'm not sure if he still does. But it was always, meeting up in Liechtenstein. And as a result of that video, the videos that he would talk about that had a couple years back, that stuck in my brain. And where did I have to go? I went to Liechtenstein. And Chip and I posted a whole video tour of me going to Liechtenstein. And that was...
it was a good one.
But
it's like
you got to meet DAI, right?
Yeah, I got to meet him last night. And he had some great things to say about the show and us. And one of the things that he remembered was, he goes, "Where's Jeff?" And I was like, "Oh, Jeff didn't make it up. It's his birthday today." "Oh, tell him happy birthday." He goes, "I remember Jeff. Didn't he go to Liechtenstein?" I'm like, "He did." He goes, "I thought so." He goes, "I remember that. I remember talking about that and playing the video."
Yep.
Because you did a shout out to him in the video as well. But he had some great things to say, and it was kind of nice. He was kind of off in the corner, and we had like I'm gonna say a 5-10 minute conversation, and that was just kind of cool, just to talk to, have that conversation, somebody you followed and knew for a long time. So I don't know that I got a picture with him though. I don't know if we did get a picture. I don't think so, but I think I was just, sometimes you were just like engrossed in the conversation, not thinking about it.
Right.
You know, then it occurred to you, you were just like having a conversation. So yeah,
Yeah.
we started just talking about, you know, XRP, SEC. We just started getting into like topics like that. And yeah, and it's like, I was like, all right, listen, have a great night. Shook his hand, like walked away. So I don't know if I ever got a picture with him, but.
Yep. Hey, so Chip, this is from Kyle. A lot of people are saying, "Hey, that's a great question, Kyle." So he's saying, "What do you guys think of the XRP community? Does it still feel like the early crypto days?" Now that's interesting. I feel like the community has matured a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. I mean, we're beyond the Riddlers and things like, that was in the early, that was what the fun part of the XRP community. I found, Chip, I thought, Bitcoin community, the maximalism of it. I can remember early days. I went to some of the meetups, the Bitcoin meetups, and we talk about XRP, or I'd bring it up and just be laughed at, and, oh, you're here to talk about the banker's coin, blah, blah, blah. But, and it was interesting, the difference. I felt, within the XRP community, I think there's a lot of smart people in the XRP community, and they're here on the show, and we read the comments, so they're here with the On the Chain family, and I think it's amazing. And look at a testament to the community was last night for you, and seeing all the people that you saw, and also, I mean, there's the On the Chain community as well, but all these people are part of the XRP community, and just seeing the direction that the XRPL, we're still early days. Everything is just getting started. The test cases are out there that the XRPL is something positive to build on.
Yeah.
And so, Chip, what are your thoughts? I mean, what do you think of the XRP community?
I think what's changed too, I'll agree with everything you said there, but I think the big difference is it's transformative. And I think great overall is the fact that there were so many builders there. Like I met the guy from BPM Wallet. I met,
Awesome.
people are like in the community building, making stuff. And I think that's one of the things back in the early days, it was just Ripple, right? So it was like, Ripple's doing stuff and some people were trying to break in, and there were some amendments for the XRPL, but look at where we are today. NFTs on the XRPL. We got smart contracts coming. We got layered, side chains. I mean, where we're going and the ability. Played that video the other day with Aaron McDonald, and he was saying the one thing the XRPL does really, really well, better than anything else, which is the interoperability piece of it, and using that as like a gas token for the Futureverse. And he was saying, but it is limited. It just does this one thing. So if you want smart contracts, you want this other niche stuff, it's not going to be part of that. But I think the big thing was the builders. A lot of people last night are a lot of developers that are building. And so that's the ecosystem. Ripple is still part of it, and they put the party on. But it's really, I feel like it's been turned over to the builders, the people that are actually making stuff and making it work, and doing, fun stuff like that. So
that's awesome. Great comment.
Yeah, I think that's it.
So Steve Walker was saying, and there's another part of the community. Proper Party showed an interesting age demographic. No youngsters, some 30s, mainly 40s, 50s, and 60s. A lot of older tech people. That have been that have seen the development of technology.
I saw a lot of young people though. I saw a lot of young people there, 20s, 30s.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's a positive. But the demographics, I think we do. I think in crypto in general, but you also have people that have the disposable income, right? So that are going to be investing in digital assets and at large. But I do think there's still a lot. There's going to be a lot of people in their people in their 20s. But
for the
early.
most part,
Think back 10 years ago, though, Chip. Right, 10 years ago, this all started. Anyone who was with this space when it started were probably in their 20s. Yeah. And now they're probably in their 30s.
Well, there you go, too. I mean, that is also certainly...
that's how age works, apparently. No, that's
you
really...
Actually, it goes forward. That's what you want. You want to continue to move forward. But, yeah. It's good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Jim D. The crypto switch flip will happen when Congress shuts down the budget. Government and military is furloughed, and Russia and China use Kim Jong-un Jr. to start flinging nukes over Japan. I'm seeing a shutdown. Man, I hope there's a shutdown.
I hope
You
so
gotta
too.
put this everything into perspective. They got to stop with the nonsense, stop with the fat and the pork and everything else. We definitely need to see some development there, and that will have an impact, economically on the global economics. I think we'll
Yeah.
see a major ripple across
Well,
the
Jeff,
economies of the world.
you remember a couple administrations ago they had the net zero, and the net zero was like the government was saying if we don't make this shift now, everything's gonna go. It's gonna be chaotic. It's gonna end up destroying the internet. And really, what it was about was censorship, but not at the level, not at the end level, at the ISP level. So if there was a
Yeah.
problem, they could go at the ISP level and shut you down, basically, instead of, oh, you said something on this social network. And that's kind of really what it was loosely about. And you had all of these mouthpieces, these big tech guys saying, oh yeah, we have to support it. And it was just a government propaganda campaign. You know what happened since then, Jeff? Well, the bandwidth expanded, everything got quicker and faster, better, and it got more competitive, right? So the prices went down. So you got better service, better quality for less than it. And so, but all this doom and gloom that was preached, when the government's preaching doom and gloom, they're the ones behind the doom and gloom. They're creating it. They don't make anything.
Are the doom and gloom.
They don't make anything. They're not manufacturing
everything.
anything. They break everything and they take. Break and take is what their
Big
pretty much their
takers.
motto is,
Oh yeah, big takers.
Takers, yeah, they're not makers. They're
We
takers.
produce, we make, they take, and then they redistribute, and that's not always a positive thing. I like how Northeast Whitewater says, I saw this movie before. Spoiler alert, last minute deal will be reached. That's probably true. Chip, did you see anyone from Fortress Trust at the party?
I did not know. Yeah, that was what a bummer that was, right? It's like
last minute.
yeah, we signed a letter of intent, but we decided not to go forward with it.
And by the way, you're uninvited from our party.
Yeah, give me the proper party, your badge. You can't go to the proper party.
Your QR code will no longer work. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, you're in trouble. So I think the whole thing with the that's funny because the proper I think what happened there, as they started doing a little more due diligence, they realized that it wasn't a good thing, and there were some losses, right? There were some losses with some companies, and they were going to originally cover it, but it might have been deeper and wider than they expected. So they did announce that they are going to be. That's funny, Brad. I'm making me laugh. They are going to remain one of the biggest investors, but to me, I didn't see Hugo there either. But I think what might happen is you might see them pick it up for a little bit less down the road, right? So as things kind of
possibility.
Yeah, I mean, they're still a big investor, but you might see that it shifts and changes over time. So we'll see what happens.
So Kelly was also asking, what was the big announcement? Was there an announcement? No announcement. Maybe it's
the
just
announcement was
nothing?
generated by the community was saying there was going to be an announcement. There was never an announcement. It was the proper party was to celebrate.
That was it.
Brad said, on the July 13th ruling by Torres, the Torres doctrine, as we call it, he said, we need to have a proper party. And then right around the 20th or 29th of August, they announced the proper party. So there was never going to be an announcement. The announcement that Brad basically got out there and said is he thanked the community for hanging in there. He thanked a bunch of people. He thanked John Deaton, and then he introduced Lenny Kravitz. And that was it. It was just it was thank you for coming out and having fun with ability to kind of like bring all these people together. It's great having these conversations.
So
something
awesome.
along. I'm paraphrasing, but we'll play the speech. I do have it. It's just maybe we'll play it tomorrow night. But it was good. It was a good shout out. It was a good shout out to the community. There was never going to be an announcement. Everyone's like, "What's the announcement?" People just were guessing there would be an announcement. The other funny thing that people were saying was that when they were trying to guess who the performer, they were saying 50 Cent because obviously XRP. So and Snoop Dogg, and there's a whole bunch of other ones that people were. Everyone's trying to guess the performer, and then David Schwartz put out a tweet saying, "I don't know if he would reward you or who's going to be the winner if they can guess the performer."
He was going to follow them on Twitter.
No, that's what it was.
If they could guess, yeah. I had the tweet, but I don't know what I did with it. I didn't put it in the keep, so we don't have it. But man, it's interesting too because I'm looking at all this stuff. Kelly Slater said the Dems want to be able to blame it on the Republican. It's all a blame game. And Maxine is really good at finger pointing. But I look at that, I'm like, hey, you know what? They are really good at finger pointing. And then I look at this and, just starting from John Deaton posted a whole bunch of great things over the past day. But here it was on CNBC, says courts are giving big black eyes to the SEC on its jurisdictional worldview and hostility to crypto.
Nice.
The SEC and Gary Gensler are getting throat punched left and right. Grayscale, Ripple court rulings, big black eyes to the SEC. Cato Institute's Jennifer Sculp, the director of financial regulation studies at the Cato Institute. Right. And then Chip, it just keeps going. John Deaton, the SEC harmed a lot of innocent people in the process. 75,000 investors, users, developers, and small businesses have been screaming the above for 3 years. Right. And then in short, the SEC central argument against Ripple failed almost completely under judicial scrutiny. It did not just hurt defendants. The SEC harmed a lot of innocent people in the process. And there's just, it's amazing. The SEC lawsuit immediately destroyed more than $15 billion worth of wealth of innocent holders of XRP who had acquired the token on the secondary market. Now the SEC's duplicity in hiding its internal documents and secret positions about XRP has been revealed. The case for intentional wrongdoing by the SEC is even stronger. So these guys can't hide, and that goes to what Kyle's asking. What do we feel about the community? What do we feel about, like, where's the direction
they can
going?
run, Jeff, but they can't hide, can they?
They can't hide. And we've got people like part of the community, John Deaton, Jeremy Hogan, Violent. We've got all these amazing attorneys that are also very supportive of this space and are part of this community. John Deaton took it upon himself to help and put together the intervention on behalf of all of the holders of XRP, 75,000 strong, to intervene in this ridiculous lawsuit with the SEC and the ridiculous claims that they made, and still are making. It's crazy, but this is the community. So I don't see anybody in the Bitcoin Maxi community stepping up as strong to, take on the SEC. I don't see any, where are the other communities? Why is it that, the XRP community ended up in the crosshairs? So we talk about where's the direction of XRP going? I don't know, Chip, where the price point's going to end up on XRP. But what I do know is that XRP has been marked in history, in the history books, as the one community that stood up against the SEC and brought light to the crypto space to deem XRP the only one that's been ruled as a non-security along with Bitcoin. Look at those auto shutters. Damn, you're in a swanky place. Look at that.
Yeah, it's like, and it's programmed, so it's just the TV came. The TV
it just
came
turned on.
the shades
You didn't
went
do
up.
that? I thought you hit the switch.
No, hang
Chip,
on.
did you flip the switch?
I didn't flip the switch. No, hang on.
That was very cool. Because now all of a sudden,
otherwise,
look at that building in the background. Which building is that? Man, that's a nice building.
Not sure. I know that if off the roof you can see the Empire State Building, which is really cool.
That's really sweet.
Let's see. There we go. There they come back down. All right.
That's really good. That is really great. So Jim D saying, how can there be a U.S. stable coin when debt interest payments and budget creep are at a $25 billion per day? It's crazy. Steve Walker saying Congress wants Gary Gensler gone, but they got to get rid of all the commissioners. Hester ain't my mom. There's one guy in Congress, his name is Warren Davidson, that was proposing a change of how the SEC operates. And one of those is getting rid of the chair, this unelected bureaucrat that leads and directs the SEC. That means you have an administration that can appoint an individual that can determine the direction that the SEC plots itself and how they rule on, how they themselves rule on things, on how they go after companies themselves. And as a crazed lunatic, the way Gary Gensler has presented himself. You can't have people like that at the helm of such an important agency like the SEC. A man who, as CFO, didn't look at every line item and allowed money to be spent to a law firm that disrupted an election here in the United States. They and then he says, oh, he didn't know about it. He was the CFO of a political campaign. I don't care if it's a political campaign or a private company. You're the CFO, and he signed off on it. He had to have signed off on it. And he said, I don't know what they're doing at the law. How do you not know what they're doing at the law firm? Let's say you have them on retainer, so you're paying whatever the retainer amount is every single month. Now all of a sudden there's an extra bill. As CFO, you'd say, why did they just pay them $500,000 or whatever? I don't know what they paid. Why did they just pay that? He didn't look, but he's holding other private companies and their CFOs to task, and then coming after. It's just crazy. So that stuff has got to change. They got to get rid of them. A lot of different things. Laurel's saying, I think there has to be a return to the gold standard, Jim, so dollar can still maintain its status. You know what, Chip? What if we move away from a gold standard? What if you get a basket of crypto like XRP?
Basket of crypto. I like that.
A basket of crypto, and you peg the dollar. You back the dollar with crypto. How about that? And maybe you throw in some gold.
According
and
to that hearing, Jeff,
things.
Gary Gensler said that crypto is not a currency. Doesn't have any value. It's not a store of value. And I was like, what are you talking about, man? You can do a Bitcoin transaction. You can do an XRP transaction. What are you talking about? Like, what I've noticed is that today, with all the technology we have, with all the video, with the audio, it's like, I didn't say that. Yeah, here's the video. That's not me. It's a deep fake. It's a this, it's a that. So it's so anymore, back in, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, it was just a newspaper guy would write something down and you misquoted me. And that was pretty much it, right? You had to be there. The Gettysburg Address, Lincoln getting off the back of a train car, given that address. And there was like just a handful of people there, became a famous, because the words lived on, right? But who was actually there? Nobody. It was like maybe 100 people. It was like almost nobody was there to witness that. And today you got these massive hearings that are broadcast everywhere. You got 24/7, but I didn't say that. I know that's not what I said. And this whole idea is that Gary Gensler is losing the fight big time. The SEC is losing the fight. And what's going to happen in the next administration is they're going to limit their powers. And I think we got to start getting rid of the government agencies, all 3-letter agencies: SEC, FBI, CIA, NSA. It's time to go. And I do feel like we're going to go back to a sovereign currency. Just because you call it the Federal Reserve, there's nothing federal about it. A third party called the Federal Reserve like it's a big important. Jeff, it's the Federal Reserve. No, it's a third party entity. It's never been audited. It's been around since 1913. I mean, come on, it's been around 110 years. And it's people go like, the inflation is only 3%. Yeah, it changed from maybe last year or 6 months ago. How about the change from the 70s when we came off the gold standard? How about the change from 1913? How about the whole idea of the central bank is what spurned the whole idea of taxes and federal tax, because that wasn't part of the Constitution. Yeah, you could levy a tax, but the whole idea that citizens pay taxes absolutely gone off the rails, Jeff. So I don't know.
Crazy stuff. It's really crazy stuff. So Kyle's saying, are we going to get XRP tattoos on our forehead? What? No. I don't even know where that comes from.
No, man.
But no.
The funny thing about it is this is kind of what came up yesterday in a conversation with somebody. I said, yeah, we talk a lot at XRP, but Jeff and I are not XRP maximalists. Own Bitcoin. I've owned Bitcoin. My first transaction in Bitcoin was 2013. I was a Bitcoin maximalist. Cardano, you name it. There's a whole basket of stuff that Ether. I'm not one of these guys. I'll buy Ethereum and other. No, none of that. I mean, if you think it'd be like buying one stock. There's only Apple. Now, Apple is good, but it's been downgraded. Microsoft is looking really good these days. I mean, there's a ton of, NVIDIA has gone through the roof. But listen, you can have favorites, and we talk about our favorite here, like, one of them. But, we could easily talk about anything here, Jeff.
Well, that's it. We could.
Let's do a show, Jeff.
We're going to do a whole show on Bitcoin. We're gonna just do a whole show on Bitcoin.
on
Bitcoin would be
Bitcoin.
cool. Let's
I
talk
mean,
about.
the
You
fact
know,
that
what would
Bit-
be cool.
the
What?
fact that Bitcoin is being so embraced
Still
like it
around.
is everywhere around the world. You got El
Everywhere.
Salvador. What's the one of the key people running for office in Argentina wants to make Bitcoin a currency, right? He wants to be recognized as a currency, right? Store of value, right? It's gonna. I mean, your own currency is being devalued, and you can use something else. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think the Bitcoin is the well. They always say, never forget the man who dug the well, which is a ancient proverb that says, yeah, everyone goes to that well and they drink that water, but generations later they forget who dug that well, who started it, whose idea it was. And Bitcoin dug the well for all of us. If it wasn't for Bitcoin, someone's laughing. You're laughing at something in the comments there. If it wasn't for Bitcoin, where would we be today? I mean, we wouldn't have so-called altcoins. So
True. It's a good
but
point.
that's the
To
time, my man. That's the time.
altcoins. Oh, that's the time. Man,
Look
we
at
had a
that.
lot of time going on here. We had a
A
lot of
lot.
talk, a lot of great comments still here. We can continue tomorrow night and we can pick it up again and we'll have even more to talk about. So hopefully you guys all come back. Want to talk more about the proper party tomorrow night too. Maybe we'll pull up some more video clips so we can
Yeah.
show that and a lot of other things to dig into. Kai was asking about the tattoo because of Brad's tattoo. I missed something. I saw people chatting about it. What was up with
Brett
Brad's?
Garlinghouse?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see the tattoo. I don't know about it. So
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll figure that out tomorrow. And Corey McCone says,
Bitcom.
"Long live Bitcom."
I mean,
So
even
there
our
you go.
handlers can. Okay, when you get out there, make sure you call it Bitcoin. Okay, Anti-Maxine. Okay, Bitcom. Oh
Bitcom.
my gosh, I think it's her brand at this point, right? I mean, it's like if she
It
calls
is.
it Bitcoin,
That's
we'll be disappointed.
Let's just rebrand Bitcoin too. It'll be
Exactly. So.
Bitcom and the altcoins. Frenchie was saying there's no switch. The switch is when Bitcoin runs, this XRP shitcoin will pump like the rest of the garbage altcoins. Now that's straight from the mouth of a Bitcoin maximalist. However, I agree with the first part. The entire market is
Of
still
course, yeah.
tied to Bitcoin. When Bitcoin runs, the whole market's going to run. Bitcoin's going to run when the rest of the economy runs. So you can't separate Bitcoin
Well, the
at the
halving's
moment
coming
from the
up,
economy.
so the halving,
The halving could have an
if
impact
it
too.
stays low, is it going to still be economically viable for miners, right? So that's always the issue. The problem is if it doesn't, are you spending more resources than it takes what your rewards are on the mining process? So that could potentially be. They always like doom and gloom about that too. Like, oh my gosh, what happens if it's just it still continues anyway. So. But that's all the time we have, Jeff. I'll say, everybody, thank you for being with us again today. I appreciate all your comments and looking forward to be back with you guys tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's it, man. Looking forward to it. You guys are awesome, the best and the brightest in all of YouTube crypto space. Gather here with us only on the chain. So we'll see you guys on the next one, which happens to be tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. More great things to talk about. Hopefully you guys show up. We'll love to see you guys on. All these new faces or names that are rolling through here. Thank you guys for the happy birthday wishes. Appreciate that very much. And we'll check you guys out on the next one.
Ship and Jeff
out.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.